Springtime. The leaves are rustling, the flowers are blooming, the birds are chirping. Life is good. It's the middle to late May here in Ontario. This is referred to as May 24. Actually, it's Victoria Day long weekend, but that's not what we call it. Now, this time of year means different things to different people, basically based on how old you are. If you're a teenager, this weekend is all about scoring alcohol from that creepy guy hanging out at the LCBO, and then sneaking it into either Rondeau Park or Grand Bend, the Pinery, and getting drunk and hanging out with your friends. If you're the police, that means trying to catch those teenagers trying to sneak alcohol into Rondeau or Grand Bend. If you're my age, this weekend is all about maybe doing gardening, getting the house ready, spring cleaning, those things that adults do. And if you happen to be above my age, it's basically all about hoping that Mother Nature decides to rain down upon those ignorant teenagers taking up all the good campsites right now. Actually, no, that's my age too. Oh well. So, as I said, it's springtime, and this is a perfect time to start getting ready for the camping season. You may not want to be going out camping right now because this weekend is and the next few weekends are typically rainy and cold, and it's not the greatest camping time. However, it is a great time to be going over all your camping gear and making sure that everything is in tip-top shape. Trust me, you don't want to get to your campsite and find out that maybe you packed away your tent in the rain last time you went camping and just completely forgot about it, and now it's all moldy and mildewy, and it's basically just time to throw that crap out. This is not a good way to start a camping trip. So, let's go over a few things that you need to look for this time of year to make your camping experience as great as it can be.
Okay, so first order of business is to locate all your crap in your garage or in your shed or wherever it happens to be that you hid it all away, and just pull it all out. Keep in mind that this is not by any means a comprehensive guide. It's merely a few things that you should look out for when you're getting ready for the season. So here I have a tent. This is a 10-man tent from Broadstone. As you may be able to tell, it is brand new, still in the packaging. You may be tempted to assume that all the parts are therefore included, but hey, mistakes happen sometimes, and it would be a shame for you to get to your site, try to set up the tent, and realize that there is a pole missing. Your best bet is to bring it to your yard, set it up completely. That way you can check if everything is in working order for your trip. Another thing to take a look at is your cooler. Now I know that they do tend to get a little dirty and that this is just one of the realities of camping, but it's always a good idea to give them a cleaning from time to time. Also, when coolers get a little long in the tooth, the drain starts to leak and the plastic can get all scratched and the insulation may not work as well as it used to. All this to say that if you have an original vintage Coleman cooler from the 80s, it may be time to ditch it and buy a new one. And of course, check your accessories. It's always necessary to have a collapsible wine glass. Check out your sleeping bag. Give it a sniff. If it smells musty at all, unroll it, check it out. If it's moldy, you'll just want to toss it. It's not worth trying to sleep in a moldy sleeping bag. And, they're not that expensive that you can't replace it. When all else fails, you can always just bring a blanket. You don't really need sleeping bags unless you're sleeping in sub-zero temperatures. Open up and check your cooking equipment. You're looking for a couple of important things. First of all, make sure all of your equipment is clean. Hey, I'm just as guilty of leaving food debris in the camp stove as anyone. If your equipment is dirty, clean it. Also, you'll want to check for corrosion on any metal surfaces. Set up any cooking equipment and test it to make sure it still works before putting it back away. Also, if you have stored your camping gear anywhere critters might be able to get into, check for things that they might have, left behind. Here's a rubber spatula that got chewed. All of those little bite marks are a great place for bacteria to live. You might want to just toss it out and replace it. Another thing you might want to check is your canisters of propane. Now these guys don't last forever, and you might be using it for multiple different objects like your lantern and your Coleman stove or whatever you may be using it for. So make sure you have a couple of spares, especially if you're starting to get low. You don't want to get halfway through a meal and realize that you don't have any more propane and have to find some other way to cook. Now the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is to make absolutely sure that you have a working way to make coffee in the morning, because, come on, everybody knows that coffee is the most important meal of the day. This is a propane-powered Coleman coffee maker. This thing works great. If you happen to see one in the store, snatch it up. Now, you may be tempted to think that this whole video is sponsored by Coleman. I have Coleman everything. Trust me, that was not intentional, and Coleman is not sponsoring this video, but hey, if they want to, I'm more than happy to accept their money. Now you may have noticed that I didn't go into much detail in this video about what equipment that you should have in your kitchen. Obviously, I mentioned specifically a stove and a cooler and, of course, the very important coffee maker, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about making sure that everything is clean and everything is in working order and ready to go for your camping trip. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. If you want one of the t-shirts that I'm wearing in this video, head on over to cafepress.com/campsitecook. Also, there will be a link in the description. Every shirt that you buy helps me bring you more quality content. I hope you enjoyed this video and will share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep cooking with fire.